Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Fumble Sports Daily Betting Show. So happy to have you with us, whether you're watching on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, or on YouTube. Excited to get into another full day of action. We have NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and of course, a full slate of MLB. So settle in, a lot to get to today. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope your bets cashed last night. We came out literally even last night. As always, we go through the picks that we had the day before. And unfortunately for us, it was a break-even day. We could have done better in certain aspects, but missed on it. On a few of these. The Nuggets on the money line cashed and the over cashed, which was a nice little payoff for us in that NBA game. Padres missed, though. Padres gave up a ton of runs early in that game, so missed on that and missed on the under due to those early runs. Padres came back but couldn't actually get over the hump and win, which was unfortunate. Once we lost the under, we were hoping we at least get Padres on the money line, but didn't happen. Vlad Guerrero Jr., he had a hit, only a single, though. Felt bad about it. Feel like we should have gone 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs in the retrospect. Christian Javier fell short of 6.5 strikeouts. He had 5. Guardians, Blue Jays, we split those two, but the Marlins came through for us. Dennis Schroeder didn't have any defensive plays of note. Rangers came through, and we had a couple did not plays last night. Jorge Polanco did not play. Jose Ramirez did not play. So all in all, in last night's action, we came through at 7-7, split our MLB action, player props. In the NBA, we did well, but still, we have work to do. So we put yesterday behind us. We move on. We put the results in the graveyard. And we move on to today's slate of games. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. Really excited to talk baseball, basketball, and of course, hockey with you guys. There is a baseball game that actually is going on in about, 10 minutes. So we're actually going to give out a pick immediately for that game. There is a pick I like in that game and want to give it out immediately. So if you're paying attention, make sure you open up those ears. We're about to give up a pick right now. So this is for this first game that's about to go off today, and that is the Pirates-Tigers game. Pirates and Tigers. That game starts in just a few minutes. And for all of those who want to bet on that game, we are definitely advising that you take Pirates, Tigers, under 8 runs. I would get that right now if you could. Definitely try and jump in on that if you can. Love that play today for a number of reasons. First of all, the weather. We go right to our Ballpark Pal website that we use so often. The weather in this game, likelihood of home runs is way down. Likelihood of runs is way down. Make sure that you guys are getting in this game as soon as you possibly can. Pittsburgh Pirates and Detroit Tigers. First pitch is in just a few minutes. Make sure you guys are putting in that bet because we really like this play today. Pirates, Tigers, under 8 runs. So for all those who are watching, make sure you throw that one in. That's our first favorite bet of the day. As you guys know, we give out our favorite picks of the day every time you help us with our live goal. So you give us the gift for our live goal. We'll give out one of our favorite picks of the day. And of course, every time we hit a 2,000 like benchmark, IP Shade, thank you for the hat. So appreciate it. Any props on that game? Actually, there is one that I like, but it's a bit of a long shot. But I'll give it out anyways because IP Shade 45 just hooked us up with one of our live goal baseball caps. So what we're going for that game is actually going to be a home run, believe it or not. Spencer Torkelson over half a home run. Get that in as soon as you can. I'm taking a long shot play on it. What's up, Top Dog? Hope you're having a great day. Giving out some picks early. It's a plus 600. Now, with these home run plays, we try to give out a few every day. I'm not saying it's a lock. It's certainly not the probability that we like on some of the other bets we gave out or will give out over the course of the show. But we like talking dingers here at Fumble Sports. So if you're looking for a dinger in that Pittsburgh Pirates Tigers game, we know that home runs are going to be way down. But if you do like any, Spencer Torkelson to hit a home run at plus 600, that's where we're going to go with it. Appreciate all of you guys joining us So excited to jump into the today's action of sports. Again, if you are joining us only a few minutes before the Pittsburgh Pirates and Tigers game, Detroit Tigers game starts, these are two bets we like for this game. So if you want to jump in on that one, we're giving out some early plays. For all those watching on Instagram Live, hope you're having a wonderful day. If you want to see the picks we're giving out or the research that we're going to do right on our computer screen, make sure you jump over to YouTube and watch on our YouTube channel, Fumble Sports. That way you can see all the research. If you're watching on TikTok Live, make sure you're hitting that like button. Again, every time we hit 2,000 likes, we'll give out another one of our favorite bets. And of course, every time you guys give us a gift for our live goal, just like IP Shade 45 did, we'll give out another one of our favorite picks. And of course, one last thing, make sure you're sharing the channel. We don't bring that up enough, but make sure you're sharing Fumble Sports with others. I'm sure you know other sports fans, family, friends, co-workers. Let them know about the channel. We're trying to grow one viewer at a time, and we certainly appreciate the support of all of you loyal followers. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Deadpool84 is bringing up one of the worst bets of the night for some of you who didn't take Denver at plus 5.5 and let that line shift over the course of yesterday. That missed free throw at the end cost some people some money. So keep in mind, where you can get good odds, take it when you can, because that line's going to move with public money coming down. Last night was a good example of that. Jorge, thank you for sharing the live. Means so much. We're definitely trying to grow, and it's you guys who are going to help us get there. Okay, we're going to jump into all of your questions. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. If you guys ever want to rant about anything, we're here for it. If you have questions on YouTube, don't hesitate. We're standing by to answer those. So Top Dog, feel free to fire in those questions. Jorge, I know you jump in on there sometimes, so more than happy to answer there. Jorge's been asking a question about Sonny Gray over 5.5 strikeouts. We'll get to Bam in a moment, but let's start with that Sonny Gray, because I actually saw in one place that the under was a better play. So let's just dive into it really fast. Sonny Gray has had an unbelievable year. For all of you Minnesota Twin fans, you've certainly witnessed just how good he's been. Unbelievable, but he's been better at home than he's been on the road. So let's dive into what we think of him on the strikeouts today. We go down, again, some of you may know because you're loyal followers of the show. The website we're using to do this research right now is called Outlier. Outlier is an outstanding tool to help us figure out how to make the best bets, the data, the analytics, and of course, the shopping comparison that allows us to find the best place to place the bet. We're looking at Sonny Gray over, under 5.5 strikeouts. The over 5.5 strikeouts has a slightly better implied probability at 52%. Looking at the trends, trying to give you guys a lot of data up on your screen. If you're watching on Instagram Live, jump over to our YouTube channel. That way you can see all this research done up on your screen. Here you see how Sonny Gray has done over his last 5 starts, has consistently hit over 5.5 strikeouts. I am a bit wary, I will admit, a bit wary of Sonny Gray today because he's going up against the Dodgers lineup that features a lot of talented left-handed hitters. But also not just that, if we go to our ballparkpal.com website, you'll see Dodger Stadium is expecting a good amount of offense. Home runs are in vogue, while extra base hits and singles might be a tick down, runs might be up. Makes me a little bit worried about Sonny Gray. The 5.5, I could see it hitting at 6, but I don't see him getting at 6.5. So there's actually a part of me that actually wants to go on the other side of this one. And you saw just a moment ago, if I step outside of this and I actually go and take the under 6.5, under 6.5 is got an implied probability of 60%. I know he hasn't had that trend in his favor, but on this one, I'm kind of leaning towards the Dodgers more than I'm fading Sonny Gray. I just like the Dodgers contact in what is a day game in LA and good weather conditions. So the under 6.5 at minus 150 has maybe more of my attention. For those, Jorge, who asked, if you want to take the over 5.5, obviously the trend is there with you, but you might want to also kind of be on both sides of this. You may want to take over 5.5 and under 6.5 and live at that 6 mark. That might be an interesting bet. I don't know if you're willing to put up the capital to take the risk, but might be fun to be on both sides of the fence on that one. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Again, once we hit 2,000 likes, we will give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. Or if you give us the gift of our live goal, which is that cap, we will give out one of our favorite picks of the day. Deadpool, thoughts on Heat and Celtics Game 1? Obviously, this is a matchup of two teams that are very familiar with each other over the last few years in the playoffs. Really excited to see this one go off. IP Shade 45 is hooking us up with another cap, which allows us to give out one of our favorite bets of the day. Certainly appreciate you doing that. And we'll make it related to this game. So, first of all, Celtics are the heavy favorite on the money line. I do like the Celtics on the money line. I'm giving that out. I'm not going to put it up on the board simply because I'm willing to put it up on the board just so you guys can see it. But the truth of the matter is, this isn't a great play. So I understand if you guys don't want to take Celtics on the money line at, minus 360. Like, that's not a very favorable bet. I'm putting it up there so you guys know where my head's at. I'm having a real difficulty about the spread on this one. Deadpool, thank you so much. We'll get to giving out another pick. Thanks for the cap. Well, this Celtics game, the reason it's kind of got to me is, first of all, the public is really high on Miami covering. And I was as well about 24 hours ago. But the public's really big on Miami covering. I want to take Miami +8. I really do. But I saw a trend on Outlier that really stood out to me. And when we went to trending, the Miami Heat are 11-22 against the spread on the road off a win over their last 33 games. It stood out. It was one of those where you think, are we overhyping Miami? They played a Knicks team that kind of went into their shell. They obviously played a Bucks team that was out without Giannis for a couple games. The Celtics looked really good in the final 5 quarters of that 76ers series. I think there's a lot of momentum there. So for a number of reasons, I'm not touching the spread on this one. If I had to go with a total play, I'll put it up on the board. I'm not feeling crazy about it, but I will put it up on the board just so you guys can see it. I'm going to take Heat, Celtics, and I'm going to go with the over. I'm going to go with the over in this game. The over I got was at 210.5. Let's see if it's still there. By the way, for those who are asking, the app we're using up on our screen, if you're watching on YouTube or TikTok Live, is Outlier, a really good sports betting app that allows me to do a lot of research all in one place, look at analytics, data, and of course, do the comparison shopping that allows us to find the best bet and then place it with the sports book that gives me the best odds. So it's now at 211. At 211, it's going off at minus 109. So I'll put it up there. 211 minus 109. So for those who are asking, where are we coming down on this Celtics Heat game in terms of game plays? We like the Celtics on the money line. Obviously, not great odds, so might not be something we want to look at. And then Celtics Heat over 211 total points. So that's where we're going at minus 109. You guys have been hitting that button like crazy. You guys are freaking awesome. Want to give a big shout out. You guys are so wonderful. So thank you guys so much. We owe you actually 3 picks. IP Shade 45 helped us with our live goal and gave us the gift of a hat. That's one. Deadpool did the same thing. We owe 2. And because you guys just hit that like button, we actually owe 3 picks. So let's get ready. For all of those who are watching, get ready. We're about to drop some knowledge on you with these picks. We're going to stay in this game. We're going to stay in this Celtics 76ers. That series is over. We're going with the Heat Celtics game. And here's where we're going to start. We're going to go with Jaylen Brown over 23.5 points. So for those who are watching on Instagram Live, make sure you're paying attention. For everyone else, you can see it up on your screen. We're going Jaylen Brown over 23.5 points. And I got that at minus 152 for Jaylen Brown over 23.5 points. Our reasoning behind that, Brown has exceeded 23.5 points in 20 of his last 29 games. I expect him to come out shooting well in this one, being aggressive. I think it's really important, obviously, that he gets going offensively. We just saw Chase and Tatum have a massive Game 7. Jaylen Brown was a bit quiet in that game, though. Obviously, he got his points, but didn't make the same kind of noise. Expect him to come out and drop some points. Is it Bry or Bree? Whichever way it is, thank you so much for the gift. We will make sure that adds. We actually still owe three picks, so we give one. We still owe 3. Here's another one we're going to give out. Jimmy Butler over 1.5 steals. Jimmy Butler over 1.5 steals. We're getting that at minus 104. Celtics were really good with turnovers in Game 7. However, Butler has gone over 1.5 steals in 7 of his last 10 playoff games. Obviously, we know how important he is as a defensive player. Whether he's on Brown or Tatum, he is obviously going to be highly involved in covering the major offensive weapons. So, yeah, Jorge, people coming through with these gifts. Everyone being so awesome. So, that said, IP Shade 45 just dropped another one. So every time we've been giving one, we still owe 3. So bear with us. We have more picks to give out. Now, I just gave out Jaylen Brown over 23.5 points. And actually, I'll keep it next to him just so it's nice and clean. But because of that, we're also going to double down on Jaylen Brown tonight. And we're going to go Jaylen Brown over 2.5 3-pointers. That's 3-pointers made, obviously, but so Jaylen Brown over 2.5 3-pointers. We're getting that at plus 104. Our reasoning behind this one: Brown has gone over 2.5 3-pointers in 8 of his last 10 games. We're kind of pairing these two together. We like Jaylen Brown offensively tonight. I don't like Jason Tatum to score in the same way tonight that obviously he did in Game 7. I think Jaylen Brown could maybe have a 30-point game tonight. So I not only like him with his point total, I like him getting those 3-pointers as well. So we've been handing out some picks because you guys have been giving us those gifts. We still owe 2 picks because not only did we get another gift, but also we hit 2,000 likes. So we want to make sure we give a gift for all of those who are hitting that like button as diligently as you are. We've been giving out a lot of ones around this game. We'll give out one more, and that'll be around Al Horford over 8.5 rebounds plus assists. So not only are we big on Jaylen Brown tonight, I like Al Horford to be a big factor on the boards and as a distributor. Al Horford over 8.5 rebounds plus assists. This has gone off in 10 straight games. So the reason we're so high on this has been a really consistent ticket over 8.5 rebounds plus assists. And actually, we have one more to give out from this game. And for those who have been really loyal viewers and have been watching us over the last week plus, this has been one of our favorite bets to go to because it has been so consistent. One more for you. Gabe Vincent over, and for those who are loyal, you guys know where I'm going, over 3.5 assists in this one. Gabe Vincent over 3.5 assists. We have that going off at minus 114. Can't believe we're getting it at minus 114. He's gone over 3.5 assists in 8 straight games. 8 straight games. So Horford has hit over 8.5 rebounds and assists in, how many is it? In 10 straight games, and Vincent's done it in 8 straight games. Alexander, what's up? Welcome to the show. For all of those who are watching, we just dropped a ton of picks on you because IP Shade 45, Bry, however you pronounce it, Deadpool, all gave us gifts to help us out with our live goal. And you guys hit that like button and got us over 2,000 likes. Again, every time we hit over 2,000 likes, another 2,000 like benchmark, we will give out even more picks. So keep hitting that like button. Keep helping us out with our live goal. Definitely appreciate it. Jorge, I know you're dropping a lot of questions on us, so want to make sure we get to them. Also want to give a shout out for all of those who are watching on YouTube. We're actually, Jorge, you're going to have to bear with us just one more second. We're going to answer a question that comes in from YouTube from Top Dog. Spencer Strider over 9 strikeouts. Spencer Strider over 9 strikeouts. And we're actually going to look at this one in depth a little bit. We'll go to our MLB games. We'll go to our prop finder. We reset. We're going to go to Spencer Strider. And you can see over 9, not necessarily the play we want. 9.5 over is 44% implied probability. But that's not where our attention should be focused. It should be on this 8.5. So Top Dog, you don't want it at 9. You want it at 8.5. You want a strong trend. Look at that. Look at that. You want a strong trend. This season, Spencer Strider has gone under 8.5 strikeouts only once, and it was 8 strikeouts. So if somewhere you could find it at 7.5, just consider that a great bet. But obviously, probably not going to be the case. Or you can actually, this is why we love Outlier, you could get 7.5 over 7.5 at minus 290. Now, obviously, those aren't the kind of odds that we're trying to look for here at Butt Fumble Sports. But if you wanted to try to find what, for at least the entire season, has been a sure thing, minus 290 may not scare you away. But over 8.5 at minus 144, believe it or not, that actually belongs as one of our favorite bets of the day. So even though we haven't gotten there yet, I'm going to hand that one out as well. So we were doing our research before the show. This was a bet that we loved. Spencer Strider has just been hitting on it so consistently. So no, we haven't gotten an additional gift, but we'll just assume that IP Shade 45 or someone else will come through over the course of the show, and we'll give this one out now. And that is Spencer Strider over 8.5 strikeouts. And I'm getting that at minus 150. I think we got it actually at something better now. I think that's gone down. Outlier has that minus 144. Wonderful. Wonderful. Spencer Strider over 8.5 strikeouts. If you love great pitchers, great strikeout pitchers, Spencer Strider is truly proving to be that for the Atlanta Braves. So fantastic. Jorge, we'll consider this the pick for 4,000 likes because you guys are off to a fantastic start hitting that like button. So Spencer Strider will be our pick because we just hit 4,000 likes. You guys are absolutely awesome, and that should answer your question as well, Top Dog. So no, we're not going with over 9 strikeouts, but over 8.5. That's a big play. Caesar on YouTube's asking, FanDuel is offering 25% profit booster on any pick in the Yankees-Toronto game for all customers, any player prop bet. He was thinking about Varsho 2 plus total bases. What do you think? Turns Varsho odds from plus 150 to plus 188 and a home run. Interesting. Varsho's an interesting play, but against Garrett Cole, maybe not one I would necessarily go towards. I have my eye on Anthony Rizzo today going up against Chris Bassett. Also keep your eye on Vlad Guerrero Jr. He may not be in the lineup today. They pulled him late in that game, so for a number of reasons, you may need to check him being in the lineup or not. But his history against Garrett Cole is outstanding. Good batting average, has a number of home runs as well. YouTube, TN Capper 381. What's the website we were referencing earlier? It's Outlier. Outlier is an outstanding tool. If you want a link to it, DM us and we'll send you a link to Outlier later today. By the way, we told you Ohtani under on the strikeouts the other day, TN Capper. Okay, want to make sure I hook up Jorge on his questions because, Jorge, you've been asking a lot of them. Want to make sure I get to those. Jorge, you're asking about Bam over 1.5 blocks, so let's start there. For all those who are looking at player prop bets around this NBA game tonight, make sure you're paying attention. We're going to about to dive into a couple of them. We're going to start with Bam Adebayo, and you were asking about rebounds, or you were asking about blocks or rebounds? Oh. For those who just asked a question on YouTube, don't worry, we saw it. We'll get to it in 1 minute. You're asking about over 1.5 blocks. Over 1.5 blocks is not a good bet. Over 1.5 blocks, Jorge, the implied probability is way down on this one. I really don't like that. That's the kind of implied probability. I mean, no. Over half a block, that we like. Over half a block, you're getting at minus 135. That's a good play. You know, Jorge, don't chase, but he's been pretty consistent. The only issue with this is he has had a kind of stretch where he does it for a couple games, then he misses. I actually want to take one step back and go just at Bam Adebayo's general stats on ESPN.com. Want to look at his game stats against the Celtics this season because I'd be curious to know what his block total is or what he averages against the Celtics in those games. Against the Celtics, want to make sure you guys can see it. Against the Celtics, he's averaging half a block. So it doesn't inspire much confidence, actually. Oh, it's over 1.5 blocks plus steals. Thank you. I got a little confused because of the Strauss and everything in your question. Okay, blocks plus steals. By the way, thank you so much, Aso Ghost. for the follow. Make sure all of you guys are hitting that follow button, no matter the platform you're watching on. Make sure you're following us. That way you know every time we're live, and you can have a lot of fun getting all this information with us. Okay, you were asking about blocks plus steals. So I want to jump back out, go to blocks plus steals. And the over does have the better implied probability, interestingly enough. Despite it not being as strong a trend over the last 5 games, interesting that the over 1.5, jumping back over, we came to steals. So he averaged 1.8 steals against the Celtics. So that's what's really interesting. Against the Celtics during 4 regular season games, Bam Adebayo hit that over 1.5 steals plus blocks. That's a great sign there. And the fact that it came on steals, I actually like more, because steals just involve, the likelihood of him being able to turn over an Al Horford or a Robert Williams, maybe strip Jason Tatum as he goes towards the basket. Like that a lot right there. Jumping back out, looking at the over, as you can see in the head-to-head, 64% of the time. We're going to look at it from a last 10 games perspective. Warmed up to it in the last 2 games of that series against the Knicks. Hasn't been a really steady play. I'm not going to put it on the board, Jorge, as one of our favorite bets, but Bam Adebayo, over 1.5 blocks plus assists, I like it. I would go with it, Jorge. I think that's a good play. Not going to put it on the board for us, but like it. For all of those who are listening, we were just doing some research for a question we got on TikTok Live around Bam Adebayo, over 1.5 blocks plus steals tonight. We really hit that. We really like that one. Jacob Jokic hit on the triple-double. He got it. It felt like he got it in the first half, so great job, Jacob. So that was one of the bets we wanted to look at. The other one that you had was Max Strus, over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Points, rebounds, and assists going to Strus, Max Strus. Points, rebounds, and assists. Wow, interesting that this has been a really good cashing play. Good find by you, Jorge. This might be a good play. Everyone keep your eye on this one. Jorge may be finding some good trends today. Bam Adebayo over 1.5 blocks plus steals was a really good play that we just found. And Max Strus over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That has been a cash ticket in 5 straight games. 5 straight games. And interestingly enough, against the Celtics, it's hitting 62% of the time. So a really favorable trend every way around. Jorge, I think you're onto some things here. Max Strus over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists in this one. Really like it. And not only has it hit, it's hit over consistently. It's really been a fairly easy ticket over the last 5 games. Really like this one. So for those who are watching, make sure you're also paying attention to those who are throwing comments in the chat, because a lot of the followers that we have, they do a great job with their own research. That's a good one, Jorge. We like that one. We're going to put that one on our notes. We won't necessarily put it on the board. We'll share these later in the show, though, Jorge, because we like that. Over, one more time, it's over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Max Strus. And we're just taking our own notes because I love to track these now. More and more, I want to track how you guys are doing, see if you guys are able to pick up on some of these good trends, and that way we can be able to share them with each other, build a community with one another in which we're doing research for each other. I don't want you guys to think that we're just the only place to find good information. I believe a lot of you guys put out data, do your own research, and if you guys want to join our operation, do what Caesar did, who's watching on YouTube right now. You can join Butt Fumble Sports. I talked to him earlier in the day. If you love talking sports and you want to be a part of a sports media company, join us. Reach out to us, DM us, Butt Fumble Sports. What do we do all day? We talk sports for a living. It ain't a bad job. So reach out to us. We can have a lot of fun talking sports, fantasy sports, and the like. We got a question in from YouTube that I want to make sure we get to. Luis Medina, over 4.5 strikeouts. Luis Medina, over 4.5 strikeouts. Let's dive into that one real quick. Now we're getting into a baseball player prop bet. We will get back to that NBA game in just a minute, but I want to check into this pick for everyone. Luis Medina over, and it was at over 4 strikeouts. So we're not getting it at 4. Over 3.5. Implied probability is really strong on this one. 59%. Now, there isn't data around him. He is a youngster, so we're not getting any real data. But that said, he's got, 2 starts? Yeah, 2 starts. So that said, we don't have a lot of data on him. But the implied probability gets us excited. The one thing I really want to take note of, you're not going to get anything here. But interestingly enough, the Diamondbacks, the Diamondbacks, here we go. Okay, Diamondbacks against right-handed pitching. Decent averages in this lineup. Decent averages. So I'm interested by it. To the question on YouTube about Luis Medina over 4 strikeouts, I wouldn't touch it because I don't like going on youngsters. I still don't have enough data on him. But the implied probability suggests it is a good play. So while I personally wouldn't vouch for it, the Outlier app is saying over 4 strikeouts for Luis Medina is a good play at 59%. So take that for what it is. Another question we're getting in from YouTube. This has to do with the NBA game tonight. Marcus Smart over 19.5 points plus assists. So let's go back to that game. Marcus Smart, we're going points plus assists for Marcus Smart. If you guys have questions, no matter what platform you're watching on, TikTok Live, Instagram Live, YouTube, we're here to answer all of your questions. So make sure you throw them in the comments section. We can get to all of them over the course of the show. Jorge, don't worry. We'll get back to Lowry and assists. I just knew we had answered a couple of yours, so I wanted to make sure some other people got the attention. By the way, we're already a half hour into our show, and I feel like this has flown by. So if you guys aren't having fun, I feel bad for you because I'm having a blast. Marcus Smart over 19.5 points plus assists. The under is the stronger implied probability and has been the stronger trend. He has been very streaky, very hit or miss. This hits, then it doesn't. So I wouldn't touch it. Marcus Smart over points plus assists in this game. And again, we talked about this with the Denver Nuggets-Lakers game last night. Game 1 is often a feel-out game for these two teams. Often as a bettor, I like to sit out a game 1 unless I have really strong trends. By the way, we've already given out a bunch of picks for tonight's game, so it's not like we're not betting on it. But there are certain bets, like a Marcus Smart. I want to see how it plays out. Is Marcus Smart going to be on Jimmy Butler? Who's he going to be guarding? How much of the defensive attention Marcus Smart has to commit? How does that impact his offense? I want to watch one game of the series to see how it plays out before I dive headfirst into it. Jorge, we're going to answer your question, and then One Big Deal 22, we'll get to yours as well. Want to make sure I also throw up the favorite bets that we've given out so far today. Make sure you're hitting that like button. The next time we hit, when we hit, I believe it's 6,000 likes, we'll give out another one of our favorite picks of the day. Or give us the gift of a cap. That's our live goal for the day. We're trying to hit our live goal every single show. So if you give us that cap, we'll give out another one of our favorite picks of the day. And don't worry, I have about 25 loaded up, so we're not worried about running out. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you give us that gift of a cap, and we'll be able to give out a lot of picks today. Having a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys are as well. Going to answer your question, Jorge, now about Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry, and you're asking about over 4 assists. So let's go to him. We'll go to assists on our Outlier app. We're going to Kyle Lowry. And immediately what jumps out, the implied probability on the under is stronger. 57% on the implied probability at 4.5. Over 4.5, only going off at 45%. So just something to keep an eye on. By the way, I see we just hit 6,000 likes, so stay tuned. We're about to give out one of our favorite bets of the day. But we're just diving into this Kyle Lowry stat. You can see over 4.5, you're getting at the plus money at plus 120. Head-to-head, I do like that he's at 64% against the Celtics. This bet is hit. Yeah. So there you can see, against the Celtics, fairly consistent, and this is during his time with the Heat. So these 4 games, I know these two teams haven't played in a while, but that said, this has been a strong play. So I do have my eye on the over. To answer your question, Jorge, I do lean towards the over, actually, despite the fact that the trend suggests or the implied probability suggests the under is the stronger play. I kind of like it, but I'm with you. I like it at over 4. So if you could get this at 3.5, I mean, I guess you won't like it at 3.5 because it's minus 219. That's not the bet you really want. So I understand if you're not taking it there. Over 4.5, obviously our confidence is lower on it. But the head-to-head, that's a really strong play. 4.5, that's really strong. I like that. So the fact that it's hit 4 out of the last 6 times that Lowry, as a member of the Heat, has played the Celtics, I like it. So I would go with it. By the way, Alexander, if you guys love getting picks, and not just from me, but those who watch the show, who obviously do a lot of research, make sure you're watching on TikTok Live and on YouTube, because you can see up on the screen the picks that others are giving out, like Alexander. You can follow, you can fade them, but they're a member of a community. We certainly endorse them doing a lot of research. So Alexander, hope you're having a great day. Certainly appreciate your loyal viewership. Jorge brought up, we're now at 6,000 likes because you guys are awesome. Want to give a big shout out to all of you. And if, by the way, if you guys ever want to reach out to us and engage with us off the air, make sure you DM us. I know a lot of you have already seen we're pretty available and we love engaging with you guys. So anyways, we're going to give out another one of our favorite picks of the day because we just hit 6,000 likes. 6,000 likes. So because of that, every time we hit another 2,000 like benchmark, we do give out one of our favorite picks of the day. And we're going to go off the board a little bit. And we are going to look towards what Alexander is talking about. Now, Alexander, I believe, is talking about the money line in the hockey game tonight. Game 1 of the Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes. We're not going to go with the money line. We're going to go on the puck line with this one. And we're going to go with the Florida Panthers plus 1.5 goals on the puck line. And we're getting that at minus 205. Minus 205. That has been an incredibly strong play. The Panthers have covered 1.5 goals in 8 of their last 10 games in an 8-game straight. So for a number of reasons, the Panthers have just been really good, either winning or playing close games. I'm going to stick with them. I know the minus 205 may not be favorable or attractive to you guys, and that's one of the reasons I would suggest a parlay. Again, I'm not advocating large parlay bets, not beyond 4 games, but a parlay with the Panthers and maybe one other thing. Panthers Celtics on the money line. That might be nice. Get that closer to like a minus 150. So anyways, Panthers on the puck line is definitely something I would include as kind of a foundational piece in either a 2 or a 3 game parlay tonight. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Oh, they play tomorrow? I thought they played today. If they play tomorrow, I still like that bet. Anyways, I was doing my research. I thought that game was tonight. If I'm mistaken. It's tomorrow. You guys are right. So anyways, I guess I'm giving out a pick one day early. That's my bad. I did my research using this Outlier app, but I didn't realize the game was tomorrow night. So for that reason, I guess you guys are ahead of the curve on this one. I like the Panthers to cover. And again, it's still something you can parlay. So actually, I don't feel that bad about giving it out now. Definitely something you can add to a parlay. If there's some bets you like tonight and you just want to tack that on, definitely something to consider. So, yeah, getting ahead of our NHL bets, I guess. LRK425, hope your prop bets did okay yesterday. Certainly rooting for all of you guys to be successful. Schroeder didn't work out, unfortunately, with the steals plus blocks. That didn't work out. LRK425 is asking about... Caesar, we'll get to your question in just 1 second, so just bear with us. We're going to answer LRK425's question about the Arizona Diamondbacks today. So let's get back to focusing on games that are actually today. Why don't we? Arizona Diamondbacks today on the money line. Minus 160. Interestingly enough, the Athletics are 6-2 versus the Diamondbacks over the last 3 seasons. We've talked about that a little bit. LRK425, I didn't think he had a steal. If he had a steal, then actually, I want to check that really quick. Let's check that box score last night. I didn't think that hit. I thought he missed on the steal. So quickly double checking our play from last night. Box score. Yeah, Schroeder did not have a block or a steal, unfortunately. We missed on that one. Yeah. Check, he did. I'm not seeing it on ESPN, so maybe the sports book that you had, maybe that worked out. So I for your sake, I hope it did. Anyways, we're getting back into this Diamondbacks game. Pitching matchup today, we already mentioned Luis Medina. Really terrible ERA. Really stands out. Yeah, I'm seeing Schroeder didn't. So, unfortunately, we missed on that one. But that said, looking at this Diamondbacks Oakland game, two pitchers with high ERAs. Obviously, Medina hasn't had the same kind of innings pitched. Neither team's faced the starter before. The problem is this becomes a default play for me. It becomes a default play. I mean, look at the batting averages of the Oakland Athletics against right-handed pitching. This becomes a default Diamondbacks play for me. I don't have a lot of confidence about it. There actually isn't a piece of data that gets me really excited to bet on the Diamondbacks, other than the fact that the A's have just been god-awful. I mean, the A's have just been garbage. So that's the problem. I really don't actually like this, though. So for that reason, I wouldn't touch it. But if you had to go in one direction, I guess the Diamondbacks would be the favorable play, but not necessarily one that I would be attracted to. Cody, let's answer Caesar's question from YouTube. Caesar's asking about Jimmy Butler over 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Let's go check that one out. So we go to our prop bet finder. We're looking at Jimmy Butler points, rebounds, and assists. Jimmy Butler. For all of those who are watching, make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you follow Butt Fumble Sports. We're live every single day for 2 hours. You never want to miss a show, so make sure you hit that follow button. LRK425, we just answered that question, buddy. We're going with the Diamondbacks. We're not crazy about it, but if we had to lean in one direction, it would be the Diamondbacks. Okay. Question, Jorge, that we got, or Caesar that we got up here, under 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists has the stronger implied probability, 53% implied probability, and it's been a consistent play. There's even a trend behind it. Butler has failed to go over 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 16 of his last 20 games on the road against an opponent with a winning record. For a number of reasons on this one, I would go under. The under's been the stronger play over his last 5 games. Looking at the head-to-head, it has hit 64% of the time, but not recently. Not this season. So I know they've only played, it only shows twice that Butler's played this season, but for that said, the over's been stronger recently against this, but I would take the under. I would take the under on this one. I'd lean towards the under. I know what we talked about him going against the Celtics. The over's the stronger play, but I like the under just given how he's played of late. Curious to know how that ankle is as well. So I would take the under, Caesar, Jimmy Butler, points, rebounds, and assists. Mario is asking about the Brewers game. Mario's asking about the Brewers. First, let's go to our Ballpark Pal website for all those who are watching in case you haven't seen so far. What are some of the games we really like today? LRK425 and Alexander, these may answer some of your questions as well. So looking at some of the games today, first of all, we like runs in this Rockies-Reds game. I know we missed yesterday on the over on that Reds-Rockies game, but given the weather in that one, the likelihood of home runs up 36%, likelihood of runs up 36%. Expect runs in that game. Go hit that over. In fact, let's go put that one up on the board. Let's go put it up on the board. I'm willing to just make that one of our favorite bets. We assume that we'll just get a gift at some point or we'll hit another like, but we'll just give that one out right now. So we're going to go Reds, Rockies, over, and we are going to take that. Let me double check where I got it. Reds, Rockies, over 11.5 runs. I know that seems real high. It's going off at plus 100. We're going to take it, though. Given the weather today, we really like this one. So IP Shade 45, thank you for the cap. That covers the cost of this pick. So that said, Reds, Rockies, over 11.5 runs. And again, we love that because the weather that we're seeing on ballparkpal.com is just incredibly high in favor of runs and home runs. That said, we also have our eye on that Dodgers game for home runs. I'm going to give out actually some home run picks for that Dodgers game a little bit later. Yankees, Blue Jays, that's also one we've seen the overhit back-to-back games in that series, so keep your eye on that one as well. Moving down a little bit, we were asked about the Brewers game. Brewers game, wind blowing in, expect runs to be at a scarcity, less likely, the likelihood of a home run is way down, and the likelihood of runs is down. Do I like you, Darvish, in fantasy today, Jorge? The answer is yes, I do. The answer is yes, I do, Jorge. That's a good play. I like you, Darvish, in fantasy. But answering that question about the Padres, 1.5, I like that one as well. Padres minus 1.5, I like that one as well. Alexander's asking about the Nationals, the Washington Nationals. For that game, that one, I like the under in it. Let's just start there. The under in that one's the better play. For that Brewers game, though, now we've looked at the weather. Now let's actually look at the outcomes. Brewers game we'll do first. Brewers on the money line. Strong play, 4 out of the last 5. Corbin Burns on the mound. Like that. Established ace on the mound. Yeah, his ERA is a tick high. But that said, by the way, LRK425, you're a legend. I appreciate the support. You guys are awesome. But that said, the averages against Corbin Burns, you can just see here on the left side of the screen, not too many hitters that really have him well, are hitting him well. Paul DeJong, I actually have in my DFS lineup today because I do like that matchup. You can just see home run, 4 RBIs, and a 313 average and 16 at-bats. But you can just see low batting averages for the Cardinals against Corbin Burns. And you even have some guys who have a high sample size. Brendan Donovan, Tommy Edman, Nolan Arenado. Even though Nolan Arenado is scorching hot right now, he's one you may want to avoid today. Corbin Burns has pitched well against him. Goldschmidt has actually hit him well. So Goldschmidt and Paul DeJong are the 2 hitters in the Cardinals lineup that I have my eye on. But that said, I'd lean slightly towards the Brewers in this game. To answer the question for Mario, who's watching on Instagram Live, I like the Brewers on the money line in that Cardinals game. Now to the question, we're gonna double back on the. We're gonna double back on Padres 1.5. Padres 1.5. Wanted to double back on that one. So Padres minus 1.5. Interesting, that hasn't been a hot play. Over the last 5, only hit 20%. Over the last 10, only hit 20%. But what I like about it, what I liked about it was you, Darvish. What's interesting is the Royals are starting. I believe they're starting an opener. Carlos Hernandez, actually a couple guys who have at-bats against them, but there's just not a lot of data behind it. So the question earlier about Juan Soto, we'll get into that one a little bit as well. Not a big sample size on either side. You see the Royals against right-handed pitching. Only 1 hitter over 300. Notable. On the other side, you look at the Padre hitters against right-handed pitching. And interestingly, Juan Soto, again, is the only hitter over 300. So I do like Juan Soto today. Someone asked that question earlier. Cody asked about Juan Soto over half a total base. Juan Soto over half a total base. I actually want to look at that one. That may be a good prop bet to jump on. Juan Soto. We're going to go total bases. Over half a total base has an implied probability of 62%. Love it, love it, love it. No, it's not been the hottest trend over the last couple of days, but we like the matchup that he has. We're going to put this one up on the board, and we're going to make it one of our in-game plays of the day. So Juan Soto over half a base at minus 165. you can put it on the board. Yes, sir. Over half a total base at minus, what did we say? It was at minus 160? Minus 165. I like it. I like it. So this was an in-game bet, so we got to put our asterisk next to it to distinguish it. But that said, Juan Soto over half a total base. We're taking it at minus 120, minus 165. You can put it on the board. Yes, sir. Another one of our favorite bets of the day. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Once we hit 8,000 likes, we'll give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. Or if you help us out with our live goal, we're looking for that TikTok live hat. So make sure you hit that live goal. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's drive out as many of our favorite picks over the course of the next hour and 10 minutes as possible. We are cruising through the show today. And of course, make sure you're sharing our show with others, friends, family, coworkers, your barber, people who love sports. Let them know that Butt Fumble Sports is live every single day for 2 hours talking sports, fantasy sports, and of course sports betting. So make sure you share us with everyone else in your world. That's how we're going to grow, and it'll all be thanks to you. Alexander is asking about the Dodgers and Giants. Dodgers and Giants on the money line. Interesting parlay. You're going to hedge with the over on the Oakland game. First of all, I really like that, Alexander. I like what the hedge on the over on the Oakland play. I like that one a lot. Let's go to that Dodgers-Giants. Let's look at the Dodgers and the Giants. So the Dodgers going up against Sonny Gray today. But that said, didn't mean to do that. We'll actually see as we look at this matchup. Sonny Gray against the Dodger hitters. Freddie Freeman actually hits him really well. I'd also have my eye on Max Muncy, but what's a hedge? A hedge is just countering the risk of a bet. So a hedge is if you put money down on one side, you want to hedge, you want to lessen the risk of the bet by almost betting on the other side. So you think of like a hedge fund. It is a means of countering risk by making bets that allow you to cash money at different risk points. Jorge, we will have a lot of fantasy football conversation, so whether you're a part of this community or you're just watching us, we will do a lot of fantasy football content. And actually, we're about to drop some fantasy football videos this afternoon on YouTube about the top quarterbacks for fantasy. You won't want to miss those. So we were looking at Dodgers on the money line. Dodgers on the money line. There's a part of me that actually really likes this play today. Okay, so Sonny Gray at home has been really strong, but Sonny Gray has not nearly been as good on the road, and there are a lot of left-handed hitters in this lineup. Another thing, we talked about the weather today. A lot of weather that we like in this Dodgers game in terms of runs being scored, and it's also, the ball's going to be flying out to right center. So I really like this one. It's definitely a game I have my eye on. I like the Dodgers on the money line. So with that said, Alexander, I like Dodgers on the money line a lot. I understand that Sonny Gray, I actually think that's one of the reasons you're getting Dodgers at such a favorable price. The minus 135. These odds have come down over the course. The line movement has come down from minus 150 all the way now down to minus 135. I like this one. This is one I'd have my eye on as one you could take the Dodgers actually at pretty good money. You also asked about the Giants on the money line. Oops. Looking at the Giants on the money line. Wow, not as strong a play. Stripling has a terrible ERA. I wouldn't bet on the Giants. Oh, and then again, you've got this trend. Giants are 14-5 against the Phillies off a win over their last 19 meetings. So interesting. Very interesting stat. But that said, I don't like the pitching matchup. Ross Stripling, lot of left-handed power hitters in that Philly lineup. Walker, a slightly better ERA, but he's not that much better. Yeah. Okay, looking at how Philly hitters have done against Stripling. Marsh has hit him well. Stott has hit him well. Harper's hit him well. And in fact, I actually want to give out If one of you guys could help us with our live goal right now, I'd love. It's not. So wanted to give out one, and this is the one I really like today. So again, this is a tribute to IP Shade 45, a long shot home run pick of the day. We have a couple, but this is the first one, and it's related to this game. We're going Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper over half a home run. We're getting that at plus 425. Now, the weather conditions in that game, winds blowing out. Yes, the likelihood of a home run is down, but I do like that the ball is flying out to center field. I know if it was blowing out to right, it would be even better. But that said, Bryce Harper against Ross Stripling, I actually really like that matchup. I'm going to go with it. So, again, put it up on the board. Bryce Harper to hit a home run today. And actually, we just hit 8,000 likes. So I'm going to double down, and I'm going to give you another home run pick of the day. This one, I'm going to go with Freddie Freeman over half a home run. Again, we're going to put these in a special category in the home run. We're actually going to put these in a separate category. I'm going to put these in my, what we're going to call long shot. We're going to call long ball, long shots of the day. So this is going to be its own category. We already put one in there for Torkelson, so I'll actually bring that one down as well. And that way, every day, guys, I'm going to give you guys a couple of home run plays. And that way, for those who like betting on the longer odds, who like trying to take a bit of a chance, we will put out ones every single day. So over half, we're giving out at plus 475. And we jumped the gun on the 8,000 a little bit. Jorge got us a bit excited. I don't think we're at 8,000 just yet. So we're giving this one out a little bit early. But IP Shade 45 helped us out with the Bryce Harper. By the way, we have two more to give out for the long ball, long shots of the day. So if you guys really like those, make sure you give us the gift of our live goal, that cap. We will give out more long ball, long shots of the day. Every single day we'll give out a few, but the three we like so far. So keep your eye on it and make sure you continue to hit that like button. And of course, make sure you help us out with our live goal. And Jorge, don't trick us. Okay, we're going to answer more of your questions. Cody was asking about Cubs as a long shot play of the day, as a long shot. Looking at the Cubs. So Cubs are going up against the Astros, I believe. Yeah, Cubs against the Astros. And the Cubs are really struggling of late. Cody, I wouldn't do it. Cubs are 3-9 off a loss over their last 12 games. They've just been sliding. I don't like what I'm seeing from the Cubs of late. Drew Smyly is on the mound, and he's pitched really well this year, so I understand why you're considering the long shot, giving the starting pitcher. Ty France on the other side, he's only had one start, but he was really impressive. Or he only has one win, but he's been really impressive in his limited action so far this year. So I actually wouldn't touch this one. I wouldn't touch this game. I just don't like the trends we've seen from the Cubs, so... Oh, Jorge, apparently there's 8.4 thousand. Okay. Either way, we just gave out the pick. So either way, no matter what happened, we're good. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, though. Now we're at 10,000 likes. 10,000 likes is the new benchmark. And for all of those who watch, every time we hit 10,000 likes, we do something that's very special. We go through all the picks that we've given out so far, and we give a kind of a confidence level around each one. So make sure you hit that like button. Again, once we hit 10,000 likes, we will give out our confidence level around all of the bets, all of the picks. The long shot bets of the day, you guys can probably understand. We're taking a chance on those. Roll of the dice. for a home run, flip of the coin. But that said, for our picks that we're giving out that are picks, confidence plays of the day will also come with that once we hit 10,000 likes. Cody is asking about JT Realmuto over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Let's go check that one out. JT Realmuto. Hits, runs, and RBIs. Looking at him. Oh, we don't want hits. We want hits, runs, and RBIs. Okay, the implied probability on the over, 59%. Love that, Cody. Love that opportunity to take that action. It's been a bit of hit or miss. He's hit it, then he hasn't. He's hit it, then he hasn't. He also just came off a series against the Rockies, so it should have been a bit better, actually. In this game, he's going up against Ross Stripling. In his career, 3 for 3 with an RBI. Love that stat. We are going to add this one. We're going to tack this one on because Cody just found us another bet that we like. So we're going to add this one. We are going to put it on the board. Yes, sir. We are going to add this to our bets. We're going to, again, this is an asterisk bet because it's an in-show bet. But JT Realmuto, over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. It's been a consistent play. He has good stats against Ross Stripling. And I already said earlier, I like Bryce Harper as a long shot, long ball of the day. But JT Realmuto, really solid hitter. Like him in that lineup. I know that the weather, again, looking at the weather for that game, doesn't suggest that home runs are going to be in vogue, but extra base hits, singles, and runs isn't even that bad. Given that ballpark is actually kind of a pitcher's park, the minus 3% isn't bad on the run probability. So I actually like offense in that game. I like JT Realmuto. Good call, Cody. Really like it. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you help us out with our live goal. We're trying to hit our live goal every single show. So give us the gift of that cap, that TikTok live cap, and we will give out more of our picks. Again, here are our picks. And again, once we hit 10,000 likes, we will do confidence levels around all the picks that we've given out today. So make sure you give us the gift of that cap. We're trying to hit that live goal. We've been live now for about an hour, so we have 1 hour left of the show. If you guys have questions, comments, you want to rant about anything, we're certainly happy to do so. All about it. Oh, thank you so much, Cody. Yeah, thank you so much. Sometimes I screw that up. Thank you so much. Over half a base for Juan Soto. Thanks so much, Cody. Appreciate it. By the way, if I don't say it enough, thank you guys for the support and how you guys look out for me. You guys are not just an audience that takes information and gives me a tough time when I get things wrong. You guys are super supportive, super loyal. Really appreciate it. Definitely feel like a great friend community is being built here at Fumble Sports. You guys show up every day, as do I. Hopefully you have as much fun as I do, talking sports, sports betting. And for all of those who watch us or are new to sports betting or don't know fantasy sports that well, this is a safe space. If you want to learn something, if there's something you don't know, we'll give you information. There is no judgment here. If you don't know what a money line is, what a spread is, what the total is, if you don't know how to bet certain things, we are more than happy to break things down and give you the tutorial. Sports Betting 101, Fantasy Sports 101. A lot of you guys love sports, but you're just learning how to bet on sports, or maybe you're diving into daily fantasy more. This is a really safe place to be. This is the kind of experience I want everyone coming away going, man, that was wonderful. I can't wait to do it again, or I can't wait to tell somebody about what I learned today from Fumble Sports. Now, when you say it, they may go, Fumble Sports, what are you talking about? And that's where you need to share our channel. So make sure you guys are sharing our live, sharing our channel, letting others know about it. Matareza. How do I feel about that? Oh, how do I feel about that guy? How do I feel about the punter? I feel he totally got sidewiped. He totally got slammed. I mean, Chris, I don't know whether he should be in the NFL or not, but I certainly think he should have the opportunity to earn back the reputation that was lost. So, just a bizarre story. So, yeah, obviously the punter who had to deal with that. So, not a topic that we normally come across, but I'll just say this. Whatever went down, he went from the bad guy to the victim, and I hope that whether it's the XFL or some other league, he gets the opportunity. He was one of the best punters in college, went through the accusations that turned out to be false. So for his sake, I hope he gets back the reputation. He certainly won't get back the time and the money, but I hope he gets the opportunity to at least try out. Given the NFL and given how punters are in the NFL, I suspect he will get the chance over the next couple of years. By the way, Alexander, fantasy sports players should not be betting on sports. I agree with that to an extent, but I actually do think, and I don't mean to make this kind of example, I do think it's kind of the gateway to sports betting. If you love playing fantasy sports, there are certain things you can take away from it. If you think a certain player in DFS is going to have a good day, you can transfer that over and go, okay, then I think he's going to get over half a base, or I think he's going to get over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. So no, I don't think just because you're a fantasy sports player, you should immediately become a sports bettor. But I do think by playing fantasy sports, you can learn how sports betting is done. You can learn how you can start to anticipate certain trends or certain outcomes. And that way it can introduce you to sports betting. But no, just because you do one doesn't mean automatically you're good at the other. As I know, it takes a lot of time to do the research to do sports betting and fantasy sports, and most people don't have that kind of time. Okay, I'm trying to get a side bet. Do you think the NHL conference games go 7? So I think the Panthers and the Carolina series is going to go 7. I don't know if the Knights and Stars are going to go 7. That I feel differently about. So for the NHL series, I feel more strongly about the Panthers and Carolina series going 7. I think that's going to be a dogfight. By the way, I think the team that wins that series ultimately wins the Stanley Cup. Okay, just got a question in from YouTube, and that has to do with Robert Williams under points, rebounds, and assists. To those who just asked, to the individual who asked the question on YouTube, what do you have the total points, rebounds, and assists at for Robert Williams? Want to make sure I'm giving you an accurate under representation or research. So what do you have the under for points, rebounds, and assists for Robert Williams? We're going to dive into that game. Again, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. Once we hit 10,000 likes, we're not only going to give out another one of our favorite bets of the day, we're also going to give our confidence level on the picks we've given out. You don't want to miss that. So we're going to Robert Williams, if I can type correctly. Robert Williams, points, rebounds, and assists. And you were taking that at, again, I guess it's 16.5. That's the only thing we're seeing featured. The under's the really strong play here. The under's the strong play. The under's hit 80% in the last 5, 70% in the last 10, 67% of the time in head-to-head matchups against the Heat. Just look at this trend. The under's the play here. If you, for those who asked the question, I would go with under, Robert Williams under 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I'd go with the under to the question that just came in from YouTube. The under is the stronger play here. The trends all suggest that. So Robert Williams under 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That's what the trends are saying, so we're going to go with that. Vin Kane, I'm not on the Dallas Stars winning the Cup again. I like either the Panthers or the Hurricanes. Those two teams, to me, are the ones I'd lean towards. Kobe Bryant covered 95% of the time when he got a fresh haircut. 65% of the time, it works every time. So, Alexander, love it, love it. Okay, Jorge is asking about Jaylen Brown, 24.5 points or 2.5 rebound. Well, we already talked about 3-pointers made for Jaylen Brown. So we like the over 23.5 points. I'd still take it at 24.5, Jorge. I actually still like it. I like it probably at 25.5 and down. That's probably the kind of the benchmark I'd set at 25.5. But that said, I do like him at hitting the three-pointers. I think Jaylen Brown's going to have 3 three-pointers tonight as part of his scoring output. Make sure you guys are helping us out with our live goal. Every time we hit one of those caps, every time you give us one of those caps, we give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. And again, we are going to give out, in fact, the next time we give a cap, I'm going to give out another one of our long ball, long shots of the day. So another one of the players we think is going to hit a home run. So the next time we get a ball cap, that's what we're going to give out. And when we hit 10,000 likes, we're going to give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. So make sure you guys help us out in both of those regards. And of course, if you have questions, we have answers. We have another question. Will Jaylen Brown be the top scorer tonight? That's going off at plus 330. I don't like it. I don't like it only because I'm betting against Jimmy Butler and Jason Tatum, and I don't like that play too much. I think Jaylen Brown could have I think it could happen. I'm not as confident in it. Let's look at what points are going off at, and let's look at the overs. So, and we only want this for tonight's game. So Tatum, we want this to be a bit more reasonable. Are we able to do this or no? I guess not. So anyways, Tatum, Jimmy Butler, just looking at what they expect his point total to be, they expect it to be around 26 points, 27 points. I have Jaylen Brown at 25, so I wouldn't. Alexander, Bryce Harper grounded out twice and walks into more double plays than any other player versus the Giants. Interesting note. Interesting note. Hopefully that trend doesn't continue today, as we like him as a home run hitter today. So again, we gave out a couple of our long ball, long shot plays of the day. Again, these we aren't going to give a confidence level to, because we all understand when you're betting on home runs, long ball, long shot. But that said, want to give out a few. We have 2 more that we want to give out. So the next time we get the gift of a cap, we will give out another long ball, long shot of the day. So make sure you guys help us out there. Of course, also make sure you're hitting that like button once we hit 10,000 likes. Once again, we'll not only give out our favorite picks of the day, we'll also give our confidence level around them. So don't... There we go. IP Shade just gave us a cap. Thank you so much, IP Shade. You're just awesome. So appreciate the support you show us. We're going to stick with a Dodgers pick for this one. We are going to go with Max Muncy. Max Muncy has been bombing home runs all season. Good weather today in that game against the Twins. I know he's going up against Sonny Gray. I don't care. I'm taking Max Muncy plus 350 to hit a home run. And again, for all of these are for home runs. So over half, over half, over half. I'm actually going to simplify this, and I'm just going to put the player's name and the odds. We all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about them hitting a dinger, a bomb, a blast, a moonshot. So with that said, those are our 4. We have 1 more to give out. So we aren't done just yet giving out our long ball, long shots of the day. So if you like cashing in on dingers, we have 1 more to give out just in case. Again, once we hit 10,000 likes, we'll give out another one of our game picks or player prop bets of the day. So make sure you're hitting that like button. And if you guys have questions on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, or YouTube, we have 45 minutes left of our show. We have been plowing through another great episode of our show. Hope you guys are having a ton of fun, learning a lot, and obviously getting a lot of information. Whether you want to fade us or follow us, as I always say to one of our favorite viewers, Alexander, whether you want to fade us or follow us, I just hope you're getting a lot of good information so you come away from this show going, man, I learned something, I made smarter, I'm ready for tonight's action, and hopefully that's the service we provide you. By the way, what did you guys think of Doc Rivers being fired? Did you guys think that was right? I thought it was appropriate. I thought it was the right thing to do. I thought Doc Rivers deserved it after losing another Game 7. But we put out a rant video about that yesterday. If you guys want to check out my in-depth reaction to it, go check out our TikTok account or our YouTube channel. Even on Instagram, we put it out. So you can check that out as well. We do rant about sports every day. We do the sports betting show for 2 hours. but then we do rant about how things are in the world of sports. So if you want to get my reactions to things, always check out our videos. I agree with you. What's interesting to me now, and this goes to some sports bettors, the betting favorite right now to be the new Philadelphia 76ers head coach is J.J. Redick. Believe it or not, J.J. Redick, Old Man in the Three podcast host and ESPN analyst, J.J. Redick is right now the betting favorite to be the new 76ers head coach. That would surprise me to some degree. I know he's been brought up by the Toronto Raptors as a candidate, now obviously by the 76ers, but given he has no experience, it seems crazy you'd go from Doc, who has all this experience but failed, to J.J. Redick, who has no experience. Do you expect him to all of a sudden be a great head coach? I don't feel like he's the same Steve Kerr after Mark Jackson kind of new hire, so I don't feel the same way. Got a question in from YouTube. What's Butler and Tatum probability to cover their points? Let's go check it. I know some of you guys really like part of this Outlier app because you can check the implied probability on some of these point totals. So let's start with Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, if we go off of implied, I don't want to go off of line here. I want to go off of odds. So Jason Tatum, over 27.5 points, has an implied probability of 62%. 62%. That's fantastic. Over 25.5 points, 54%. Still not bad. A lot of reasons to like Jason Tatum at around 27, 28 points. And you also asked on YouTube about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler and his implied probability when it came to points. So again, 62% implied probability for Tatum, over 27.5. For Jimmy Butler, over 25.5 points has an implied probability of 66%. Really high. The implied probability at over 25.5, 66% really stands out. Really stands out. Swamp Dog, thank you so much for the support you just showed us by sharing the show. Make sure you hit that like button. Every time we hit another 2,000 like benchmark, we give out picks. Of course, help us out with our live goal. We have that cap. Every time we get that cap, we give out another pick. But Swamp Dog, thank you for showing love to the stream, love for the show. So much support that we get from you guys. You guys are awesome. If you have questions, we're here to answer them. But so appreciate the support. You guys are just amazing. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to dive into any of the research you want us to do, whether it's around moneyline plays, total plays, player prop bets. Here to answer all of your questions. And of course, going to throw up on the screen the bets we put up already during the show. If you guys want more, you know what to do. Hit that like button or hit us up with a cap. So that said, here to answer all of your questions. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, don't worry. We get your questions in as well. As you can tell, we answer all of them as soon as they come in. We have about 40 minutes left of the show. 40 minutes left of the show. So make sure you're going to work hitting that like button. Get your questions in. Here to help you out with everything you guys need. One thing about this Outlier app, and I will bring this up because some of you guys like just looking at what are the kind of the low-hanging fruit bets of the day. More than happy to show you this as well. Here it comes. And that is, we can go to trending and we can find some picks that are generated by Outlier that may just work for us. So here was an interesting one I actually saw earlier. The Miami Heat, and this was one of the reasons we did not put up a Celtics spread play. We weren't crazy about it. The Miami Heat against the spread, 11-22 on the road off a win. So for a number of reasons, as much as I really want to go after the Miami Heat to cover, this trend goes against it. Okay, IP Shade 45 is asking about Graham Ashcraft under 3.5 strikeouts, a good play, considering 3 outings are at 3 or even. IP Shade 45, normally I would say, can you give us the gift of a hat so I can give out another pick? But you do that so often that I feel like that would be wrong of me. So I'm just going to give it out as another one of our favorite bets of the day. You absolutely just brought up a pick. that I really, really... Oh, and you gave us it anyways. You're amazing, IP Shade 45. But I'm going to give out this pick because this actually was another one of my favorite bets of the day. You just found it for us. Graham Ashcraft, which is a name that I always want to get wrong. And Graham Ashcraft. And we are going to go with under. And I'm taking it at 4.5 strikeouts. Under 4.5 strikeouts. I got that at minus 175. That is a really favorable play, IP Shade 45. The under has hit in 6 straight games. He has gone under 4.5 strikeouts in 6 straight games. The fact I can get it at minus 175, I love that play. So IP Shade 45, thanks for hooking us up with a cap. Definitely like that play. Top Dog, watching on YouTube, is asking about Ross Stripling and over-under his strikeouts total. Let's go jump into that. So strikeout total for Ross Stripling, seeing how he is. So over 3.5 has a 57% implied probability. That's certainly a good start for us. But then again, yuck. Bad trend. Bad trend, Top Dog. So while the implied probability is high, I'm not touching this one. This one, just the trends go against it. He hasn't delivered it except once this season. I can't rely on it. So Ross Stripling, especially since you can tell, I like a bit about the Philly lineup today. So for that reason, he's got the high ERA. I know he's, Ks per 9 at 7.45, but he's not pitching 9 innings. So I'm not crazy about it. The over 3.5, he just hasn't hit it consistently enough for me to make it a bet today. So Top Dog, I'm going to avoid that one today. Cody was asking about Jason Tatum, rebounds plus assists. Rebounds plus assists. And again, we like to give out our favorite bets when we hit a benchmark. But every time you guys bring up another one of our favorite bets, okay, maybe we don't get a cap or we don't hit 2,000 likes, but we still want to acknowledge a favorite bet of the day, and you just hit on it. So it is Jason Tatum over... Jason Tatum over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. This is Cody. You found another really good bet. This one's going off at minus 120. I love this bet today. This is hit in 8 of his last 9 games. Jason Tatum has hit over 14.5 rebounds plus assists in 8 of his last 9 games. Love that play. So giving a shout out to Cody, who found another great bet. For those who are watching on TikTok Live and on YouTube, you can see the comment section. A lot of those who watch, they do research. They're big sports betting fans as well. So you can get a lot from these guys. Make sure you give them a follow as well. And Cody, you delivered one that's one of our favorite bets of the day. Jason Tatum over 14.5 points, over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. 808 Blaker. Yes, I do like the Padres today on the money line. Yes, 808 Blaker on Instagram Live. Okay, TN Capper 381. How many total bases does Freeman have versus Sonny Gray? Well, I did include him in our long ball long shots of the day, so I could see Freddie Freeman hitting a home run today. But that said, if I were to just take him on an everyday bet, I would certainly take the over 1.5 total bases. I wouldn't risk it and go at 2.5, but if you're ballsy enough, you could. I would take it at over 1.5. Appreciate all of you joining us. Let's get up to 10,000 likes. Let's make sure we hit 10,000 likes. I'd love to give out these confidence levels for the picks that we've given out so far. Look at all the information. Look at all the picks we've given out so far today. So much in just an hour and 25 minutes. We are absolutely crushing the amount of information we're giving out. But I'd love to give out confidence levels. So let's go get up to 10,000 likes. Again, once we hit 10,000 likes on TikTok Live, we will give out our favorite confidence plays of the day. By the way, for all of those who are on the East Coast who have to stay up to see if your games cash, if your tickets cash, if your DFS lineup does well, I'm not someone who uses, thank you for the cap, IP Shade 45, thank you so much. I'm not someone who drinks coffee. Coffee kind of keeps me up, so I'm not about it. I'm a big 5-hour energy guy. So everyone, if you stay up every day and you stay up for your bets and you're not a coffee drinker, I'm a big 5-hour energy drinker, so I highly recommend it. Let's go, IP Shade. Another pick. Let's go. IP Shade isn't screwing around. IP Shade is all about it. IP Shade because you were so awesome, because you've been such a loyal and dedicated viewer, follower, fan, we're going to give out 2 for you. This is a special shout out. We're going to give out 2 for IP Shade. 1 that's going to be a game pick, and 1 that's going to be a long shot bet. So we are going to go with, here we go. We are going to go with the Yankees, Blue Jays, Yankees and Blue Jays. And this may surprise you. I know Garrett Cole is on the mound, but we're going to go with the over. The over is hit very consistently for the Yankees. We like the over. The over is 6-0 in the Yankees' last 6 games versus a right-handed starter. The over is 4-0 in the Blue Jays' last 4 games. Or last game 3 of a series, rather. And the over is 4-1 in the Yankees' last 5 road games. So I like the over in the Yankees game. So IP Shade 45, thanks for hooking us up with the cap. Because you did that, we just gave out that play. Yankees, Blue Jays, over 8 runs. And we will give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. This one we're going to go with, let's go with Marcus Semien over half a total base. Over half a total base for Marcus Semien. And we're going to take that at -160. So a big shout out to IP Shade 45. Thanks for hooking us up with the cap. We give out not just the Yankees, Blue Jays over 8 runs, but Marcus Semien over half a total base. By the way, the next time we get a cap, I'm going to give out 2 picks again. Next time we get a cap, I'm going to give out 2 picks again. So IP Shade 45, setting the standard for me. IP Shade 45, I certainly appreciate it. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Appreciate the support you're showing us from Southern California. Wherever you're watching from, would love to know. Throw your location in the chat. We did that yesterday. I get such a kick every day knowing that we broadcast to all you guys all over the country, all over the world. It's just awesome. Mr. Chubbs 269. If you want to check out our favorite picks of the day, they're up on the screen right now. Go over to our YouTube channel. Go check out our YouTube channel. We will go through our favorite picks of the day. Once we hit 10,000 likes here on TikTok, we will go through all of our favorite bets of the day, including our confidence plays, our confidence level around each bet. So make sure you hit that like button. Let's get up to 10,000 likes. Let's make sure we can give out those confidence plays of the day. We have a viewer right now watching on Instagram Live that's in Hawaii. How cool is that to know we're getting someone who literally is watching in the last state, not even in the continental U.S., so cool, 808 Blaker. Hope you're having a wonderful and I'm sure a beautiful day there in Hawaii. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Again, the next time we get a gift for our live goal, the next time we get a cap, we're going to give out 2 picks. So the next time we get a cap, we're going to give out 2 picks. So make sure you're helping us out with our live goal. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. You guys are just the best. Just to review for a couple of you guys, the reason we did not put up a Celtics spread play, there are a couple trends that suggest that the Celtics should actually be a good cover play tonight. The public's really high on Miami. I want to take Miami to cover. The trends say the Celtics. We're just going to avoid the play altogether. We do like Celtics on the money line. I know that's a -360, but... Oh, we screwed this up. I didn't mean to do this. Boop. Boop. Appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. And, of course, make sure you're hitting that like button. Again, once we get up to 10,000 likes, I feel like we've been a little slow on the like button today. Once we hit 10,000 likes, we're going to give out our confidence level for all of these picks. So make sure you're hitting that like button. And, of course, like I said, every day we're going to give out a long ball, long shot bet plays of the day. If you want one more of those, give us a cap. If you hit us up with a cap to help us out with our live goal, one of our next bets will be a long shot bet. It's going to be a 2-1 for that one. By the way, one of my favorite things, I wanted to bring this up, one of my favorite things that I've seen in sports over the last few days is the drama around Aaron Judge and that side eye that he showed in Toronto going up against the Blue Jays a couple of nights ago. He had a 2 home run game, and right before he hit the second home run, he flashed his eyes over to what a lot of people assumed was the first base coach of the Yankees, who may have been signaling him about what pitch was coming. He then immediately turned his eyes back to the pitcher and crushed a 450-foot home run against the, I think it was 460 feet even, against the Toronto Blue Jays. And a lot of you guys asked me what I thought of that, whether I thought he was cheating, what should have been done. And what I thought was that was all fair in love and baseball. If Aaron Judge and the team is able to pick something up, relay that to him in time for him to be able to know it's a curveball or a breaking ball and take advantage of it, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So certainly, if you guys think there is, I would just reference every part of baseball up until about a couple years ago when people started getting upset about sign stealing. But as long as it's not using any kind of technology, as long as it's not an Apple Watch or an iPad or something like that, if the Yankees are able to steal signs from the Blue Jays and help out their hitters, that's called an advantage. It's part of what baseball's been about since Abner Doubleday created the game, 150 years ago, 160 years ago. So I didn't have a problem with it. But the reason I brought it up, one of my favorite parts of it, Aaron Judge hit a home run last night. So if you guys think Aaron Judge is cheating, if you guys think Aaron Judge is getting an advantage, and that's why he's been so successful, I present to the jury and to the judge evidence from yesterday's game. Aaron Judge, you're a boss, and I don't think there's anything the Toronto Blue Jays can do about it. Cody, who's on Instagram Live, is asking about our 3 MLB picks look like. Cody, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. We put up our 3 favorite MLB game picks of the day every single day on our website, buttfumblesports.com. There should be a link in our bio that takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. You'll see our 3 favorite MLB game picks of the day right there, along with our NBA game picks, our DFS plays of the day, and a lot of other content. Okay, we just hit 10,000 likes. I was waiting on you guys to do it. You guys delivered. Thank you guys so much. So because we've hit 10,000 likes, we're going to give out confidence levels. We're going to give out confidence levels for each one of our bets so far today. Now, that said, we are not going to include our long ball, long shots of the day. You can always assume that, hey, it's a long shot. That's an implied low probability, less of a confidence on that. So for that reason, we're not going to give out the probability or confidence level, rather, on long ball, long shots of the day, but we will on all of our favorite bets of the day. So, if you're watching on YouTube, Instagram Live, or TikTok Live, get a pencil and paper together. Make sure you're paying attention. We're about to go through every one of the bets we've given out so far and give out our confidence level. But before we do, we owe you one more pick. We always like to give out a pick every time we hit another 2,000 likes. So the next pick we're going to give out is Wander Franco over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs for Wander Franco today against the New York Mets. We're taking that at minus 140. So that's Wander Franco over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We're taking that at minus 140. The reason we like that, he has hit that in 6 of his last 8 games. He has hit over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs in 6 of his last 8 games. That's why we like that play. Okay, now we're going to go through all of our picks that we've given out so far during the show and give you a confidence level for each one of them. Here we go. So the Pirates and Tigers are actually already underway. I gave that one out immediately at the start of the show because I wanted you guys to have that. It was the game started at 1:10. Right now, the score in that game, by the way, is 4-0. So we're looking pretty good on that one. Hopefully we can get to the end of that game without too many runs being scored. Celtics on the money line tonight. My confidence level, I would say, is actually at like 60-65%. It would be higher, but I'm wary of Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is such a phenomenal player. He's been waiting. The Celtics having to play 7 games against the 76ers might actually be a detriment for the Celtics, obviously. The Heat have gotten healthy for a number of reasons. I do like the Celtics on the money line, but my confidence level's a tick down just because I am such a believer in Heat culture. So that said, Celtics money line, I'm putting at about 60% or a 6 out of 10 on the confidence scale. Heat Celtics over 211, On this one, I actually have about the same kind of confidence level, about 60%. I expect the Celtics to shoot well in this. I know that they've had their hit or miss games, but I like the fact that they've gotten some confidence off of Game 7. I like the over in this one. The trends really suggest the over is the stronger play in this one. To give you one of those trends, the over is 8-2 in the last 10 meetings between these two teams in Boston. The over is 8-1 in the Miami Heat's last 9 road games, and the over is 6-1 in the Celtics' last 7 games following a win of 10 or more points. The trends all point towards the over. I'm going to take the over, again, at about a 60% confidence level. Again, we're going through our confidence level on all the picks we've given out, so if you're watching on Instagram Live, make sure you're paying attention. Jaylen Brown, over 23.5 points tonight. My confidence level on that is about 65%. I feel like Jason Tatum had his breakout game. I think Jaylen Brown, given how he likes to kind of compete with Jason Tatum for attention, he'll come out scoring in this one. I do like Jaylen Brown over 23.5 points. I'm going to double down on that a little bit, and I'm going to say he's going to have 3 3-pointers tonight at least, so over 2.5. I'm getting that at the plus 104. The confidence level might be a bit down because of that. Let's say it's at 55% confidence level, but I still like that play. I think he's going to take his shots from deep. Jimmy Butler, over 1.5 steals. This has been a really consistent play. I'll put my confidence level at 60%. 60%. Al Horford, over 8.5 rebounds plus assists. My confidence level for this is really high. I'm going to put this as high as 75%. This has been a really consistent play. Al Horford, over 8.5 rebounds plus assists. Again, I'm putting that at 75% confidence. Gabe Vincent, over 3.5 assists, has been one of the most consistent bets you can make in the NBA playoffs so far. I'll put my confidence level again at 75 to 80%. So probably my most consistent or confident bet of the day is Gabe Vincent over 3.5 assists. It's just been so consistent over the course of the playoffs. I have to go with it again. So Gabe Vincent over 3.5 assists, I'm putting at 75, 80% confidence level. Spencer Strider, over 8.5 strikeouts this year, has, again, been one of the most consistent bets in baseball. He is facing a good Rangers lineup. My confidence level for that reason is just a tick down. So for that reason, I would lean slightly towards 60% on the confidence level. Not as high as it should be given the trend, but 60% confidence level on over 8.5 strikeouts for Spencer Strider. I'll answer your question on YouTube in just a minute, and Cody, I'll get to your question on TikTok Live. Just going through our confidence level for all the picks we've given out so far today. Want to continue to rattle through them. Okay, this is actually for tomorrow. I screwed up and gave out a pick for tomorrow early, but you can still put it in some parlays, so you don't want to necessarily throw it out. Florida Panthers on the puck line. I like the Panthers to cover tomorrow night in game 1 of that series. Panthers on the plus 1.5 puck line at minus 205. Okay, the Reds and Rockies over 11.5 runs. Again, you're getting that at even money. I love that bet. I would put that at a 70% confidence level. We looked at the weather earlier just to show that really quick. The weather in that game, really favorable in terms of runs and home runs. So keep your eye on that game. We'll talk about home runs in that game in a little bit, but runs in that game should be plentiful. So I like the over in the Rockies, in the Reds-Rockies game. Continue, and again, I'm putting my confidence level for that at 70%, 75%. Juan Soto, over half a base. We made that bet in show. That was some research we did in show, where we like the over half a base for Juan Soto. I'll put my confidence level at 65%. JT Realmuto, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I'll put my confidence level at 60% on that one. Graham Ashcraft, under 4.5 strikeouts. That's been a really consistent play. I'll put my confidence level at 70% on that one. Jason Tatum, over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. Again, really consistent play. I'll put my confidence level at 70%. Jason Tatum, over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. That also plays into our thinking about Jaylen Brown and his point total, so those don't conflict with each other. Kind of follows a similar narrative. Yankees, Blue Jays, over 8 runs. I really like it, but my confidence level is a tick down just because Garrett Cole is on the mound. So I put my confidence level at about 60%, maybe even as low as 55. But I think Chris Bassett being on the mound is helpful. And there are a couple of Blue Jays hitters who actually hit Garrett Cole really well. So I'll put my confidence level at 60%. Continuing to go through it. Marcus Semien, over half a base at minus 160. My confidence level for this is probably going to be at, let's say, 65%. Again, Spencer Strider on the mound, so a good matchup. It's a good starting pitcher. But I do like Semien to at least get on base via a hit. So 60% confidence level on that. Wander Franco, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I'll put my confidence level at 60% on that one as well. So we just went through every one of the picks we've given out so far today. And here are our long shot bets of the day. I don't know why. Oh, it's because it's on the other side. Our long shot bets of the day, you can see the 4 we've given out so far. The 4 we've given out so far up on the screen. I have one more to give out, but I'm waiting on a gift. I'm waiting on us to help. If you help us with our live goal, we have the baseball cap for our live goal. If you help us out with that, we'll give out our final long ball, long shot of the day, as well as another bet to go with it. So make sure you're helping us out with that live goal. That was our confidence level for all the picks that we have put up today. So make sure you continue to hit that like button. Once we hit 12,000 likes, we will give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. Cody, you asked about Senga over 4.5 strikeouts. Let's go check it. So we're going to go to strikeouts. We're at strikeouts, and we're going to go Senga. So Cody Senga, one thing we like already, you were asking about 4.5 strikeouts, Cody. The implied probability at 5.5 is at 51%. I'd like that to be higher. But the fact that that's where the line's really being set at, I like your 4.5. If you can get 4.5 at a better price than the minus 290, take it. Looking at the trend, he's been a bit hit or miss on this. Who's he? He is facing the Rays today. That's the only concern I have. Let me actually look at the Rays stats. Let's go to Fangraphs. 808 Blaker, I do like the Dodgers today. I do like the Dodgers. Let's look at how the Rays have done against right-handed pitching on the road. So against right-handed pitchers on the road, we're looking at Fangraphs. Tampa Bay, I'm looking at strikeouts. Tampa Bay, they're very middle of the pack. So it's a very hit or miss bet, Cody. I wouldn't put money on it. It's a bit too risky at the 4.5 mark, or 5.5 mark rather. If you can get it at 4.5, I'd take it. But 5.5, I don't like it. So 4.5, if you can find a good price on it, I'd pull the trigger. Okay, yes, we did answer the question about Jimmy Butler over under points, rebounds, and assists earlier in the show. We did answer that one. But did you like the under Miami-Washington game and both pitchers to cover strikeouts? We do like the under. I don't care about the strikeouts. I don't like the strikeouts. I'm avoiding the strikeouts in that Washington-Miami game, but I do like the under. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. We have about 15 minutes left of our show, 15, 20 minutes left of our show. So make sure you're hitting that like button. We still have to hit our live goal. We're about 5 caps away from our live goal. So if you guys can help us out, we'll give out more picks for the show. So make sure you're helping us out with our live goal. And of course, make sure you're hitting that like button. We still have more picks to give out. I'm still sitting on a couple of these picks. So you guys do not want to wait around. We're running out of time in our show. Every day we're live for 2 hours on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, and on YouTube. And of course, if you miss any part of the show is on YouTube immediately after. So you can go check out, if you missed anything, you can go check out our picks, our bets, or any of the analysis that we've given out over the 2 hours. Big shout out to everybody who supports the show, all of those who watch, all of those. Big shout out to IP Shade 45 for hooking us up with our live goal gifts throughout the show. Hopefully we can get a few more before the end. That way we can give out a few more of these picks. Jared, so great to see you. Hope you're doing well. How did I get to know about the site that I'm on? They reached out to us. Outlier reached out to us and let us know about it and asked us to evaluate the app. We loved it. We've had a lot of sports betting apps that have reached out to us, and we've actually turned them down because we didn't really like them and we didn't want to endorse or support a product that we didn't think highly of. But when Outlier reached out, we looked at the tool, made a determination that we thought it was one of the better ones, and therefore decided to include it in our broadcast. So that's why we came to Outlier. That's how we found out about it. And that's why we're such big fans of it, because we really do believe it's the best sports betting app or sports betting tool that's accessible to the average fan. If you guys have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. More than happy to answer any and all of your questions. It's called Outlier. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you follow Butt Fumble Sports. That way you know every time we go live. You never want to miss a show. We're live every single day for 2 hours. Tomorrow we're going to be live for 2 hours from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tomorrow's show is at 11 a.m. So make special note, we're early because there's day baseball tomorrow. So make sure you're hitting that follow button. That way you know when we come on live. But tomorrow we are live at 11 a.m. Again, an earlier show tomorrow because of day baseball. You do not want to miss out. By the way, wow, huge. IP Shade 45, thank you for subscribing. Thank you. That's such a big thing for us. We're trying to grow our subscribers. IP Shade 45, you're going to be getting access to exclusive shows. We're going to start doing we've started, but we're having shows exclusively for subscribers. So IP Shade 45, that can be just a one-on-one with you and me if no one else subscribes. But IP Shade 45, thank you. Unbelievable support that you show us. Just incredible. Thank you. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe just like IP Shade 45 did. Jared is asking about Marcus Smart total points tonight. Let's take a look at it. Marcus Smart total points. We looked at, I believe, points plus assists earlier. So this will be our first time looking at just points for Marcus Smart. So interesting. On over 12.5 points, the implied probability is at 63%. We love that, Jared. Second of all, over 13.5 points is still at 55%. So on both of those bets, we really like it. Both of those have hit in 7 of his last 10 games. I'm surprised you say he's due. He's not really due. Maybe he's due because he had a quiet Game 7, but you could also say he was just letting Jason Tatum do a lot of that scoring that would have otherwise gone to Marcus Smart. But for so many reasons, I do like Marcus Smart over. I would go with over 12.5 points tonight. Over 12.5 points I can get at minus 166. Jared, I think that's a much better bet. But if you did want to take it at over 13.5 minus 113, still a good bet. Still a very good bet. Appreciate all of those who are watching on Instagram, TikTok Live, and on YouTube. If you have questions, we have answers. Jeff Parker is asking about the Reds. Over 4.5 runs today. The answer is yes. I love that game in terms of the total. I love that game. Just a lot of runs being scored. We go to our Ballpark Pal website. The likelihood of runs in that game, in that Reds-Rockies game, up 37%. I do like the Reds in that game. There's just going to be a lot of runs scored. We can jump into that game, but I'm not worried about it in terms of either side. Over 11.5 runs, I feel like it's a very strong play. The over has hit in 10 of the Rockies' last 13 games against the Reds. For so many reasons, love the under in this one. Now again, it didn't hit yesterday, and we did like it yesterday, but I'm not worried about it. I expect a lot of runs today. When you see the weather with an increase in probability of runs at nearly 40%, that's too high to ignore. I like the over in runs for the Reds. And one of my favorite bets of the day is the over in that Reds-Phillies game. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Help us out hit our live goal. Make sure we help us hit our live goal as we try to hit those 15 caps for the day. We have a couple more picks to give out, so if you guys hit that live goal and help us out, we will give out some more of our favorite bets of the day. You don't want to miss those. We have a couple more in the bag. And again, we also are giving out long ball, long shots of the day. Do we like Bam in from YouTube? Big shout out to all of our YouTube viewers. Hope you guys are subscribing to our YouTube channel. Big shout out to all of those who are watching on YouTube. Let's go to Bam Adebayo, points and rebounds. Bam Adebayo, points and rebounds. So you were asking about, if I'm not mistaken, 26.5. The 25.5 is a really strong play. I like it at the 25.5. If you're willing to bet it at slightly worse odds, the 25.5 you're getting at minus 167. Really strong play. Only issue, Bam Adebayo has failed to exceed. This is for 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 7 of his last 8 games as an underdog. That doesn't apply to the question asked on YouTube. The question on YouTube was about 26.5, so that trend still doesn't apply to you, so that's a good thing. I do like it at over 25.5 much more. Feel very confident about that. That's gone off 80% of the time, 50% of the time over the... Look at this, though. This is the interesting trend. Look at how Bam's done over his last 4 games. Now, the issue I have is, again, and I'm letting you guys know, be careful about betting a game 1. It's a feel-out game. You don't quite know what you're going to get. Once Bam Adebayo settled into this series against the Knicks, he dominated Julius Randle, points, rebounds, hit consistently. Don't quite know if we're going to get the same kind of production out of him tonight. What I would say is I would lean towards the over. I love over 25.5. I lean towards the over on 26.5. It's not nearly as strong a play in my mind. So 25.5 is what I'd take this at. Again, I'd be getting it at minus 167. I'm okay with that. In fact, I'm willing to put this one up. I'm going to put this one up on the board as one of our in-game bets of the day. I'm going to take Bam Adebayo over 25.5 points plus rebounds, and we're going to take that at minus, 160, 165. What was that at? Minus 167. I'm okay with the minus 167. I like that bet. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. If you guys want more of our picks, we're happy to throw them up on the board. Help us out with our live goal or help us get another 2,000 likes. I believe we're shooting for 12,000 likes. Once we hit 12,000 likes, we will give out more of our favorite bets of the day. We only have 7 minutes left of the show, so we are running out of time. In case you guys missed any of our bets, here they are up on the screen. For those who bet that Pirates-Tigers game, it is now 7-0 Pirates, so this first bet of the day might not work for us. It might be a busted play. Pirates are now putting up 7 runs against the Tigers. Didn't expect that one, given that the weather was saying that was going to be a low-scoring game. So we might start 0-1, but I have a lot of confidence in our bets today, so I'm not too worried about it. You can see up on your screen our favorite bets of the day. We've given out quite a few today. What a loaded show that we've had over the last 2 hours. Unbelievable. Boston has a lot of money on them. Can you check it out? Alexander, what I would say is I've noticed if you want to bet against the public, bet on the Celtics to cover tonight. Now, obviously on the money line, I'm going to look at this from the cover play of the Celtics, though. This trend is really standing out to me. Heat, 11-22 against the spread, on the road, off a win. So, Celtics to cover is the stronger play. I wouldn't take them at 8.5, but if you could get the Celtics at 8, if you could get the Celtics at 7.5, Celtics minus 7.5, minus 120, those are good plays. So Alexander, I do like the Celtics tonight. The where I kind of fall in love with the Heat, I would take the Heat this is what I would do. And you've known, if you watched us during that Boston 76ers game, we got a couple of these dead on. I would be on both sides of this. This is what I would do. I'd take Boston on the money line, and I would take Boston to cover 6.5. So Boston minus 6.5 at 140. Boston minus 6.5 at 140. Then I would also take Miami to cover plus 10.5 at minus 140. I would take both bets at minus 140. One more time, the way I'd play it, I'd be on both sides of this. Celtics minus 6.5 at minus 140. Heat plus 10.5 at minus 140. One of them is going to hit. One of them is going to hit. That said, I feel like both are going to hit. I think this is going to be a 7-point game, an 8-point game. The fact that the line movement has moved right to that point, I like it a lot more. Might be cheaper to have a teaser bet, Alexander. You're certainly right. But for all of those wondering which way I come down on the spread for today's game or tonight's game between the Heat and the Celtics, I'm taking Celtics at minus 6.5, minus 140, and Miami plus 10.5, minus 140. What's on your ticket for today? Here are all of our bets for today. I do want to hand out a couple more picks. If you guys could hit the like button or help us out with our live goal, we'll certainly give out even more. But I do want to empty the bucket. Big shout out to IP Shade 45. IP Shade 45, we'll just consider these next few as tribute to you for subscribing to the channel. Anthony Rizzo, we're going to put in the home run category for long ball, long shots of the day. I'm going to add Anthony Rizzo. He was the fifth and final one that I had up on my board. So you can see the 5 guys, the 5 hitters that I think could hit a home run today. We're missing on Spencer Torkelson already, so we might go 0 for 1 on that one. But don't expect the long ball, long shots to hit every time. Willing to play that one out. But here are our favorite bets of the day, all in one place. You can see them all up on your screen. So guys, make sure you're taking your notes. If you want to follow us or fade us, we're not saying all of these are going to hit. We never make those kinds of guarantees. But one thing we do try to do here at Butt Fumble Sports, one, we try to have a lot of fun, try to give you a lot of information, and of course, make you guys smarter. So whether you want to follow us or fade us, what we really hope is that you guys are informed, and that way you can make the smartest bets possible. And most importantly, that you get entertainment. You get entertainment out of our show. You get entertainment tonight out of this NBA game. We want you guys to be as entertained as possible, no matter what kind of content you're consuming. Final few minutes of the show, want to give a big shout out to IP Shade 45, not only helping us out with our live goal or getting us closer to it, but of course also subscribing on TikTok. I hope you others who are watching on TikTok Live also subscribe to our channel. We will do some exclusive shows just for subscribers. We will give out awards, we will give out gifts, we'll give out a lot of things just for subscribers to show our appreciation. So make sure you subscribe on TikTok. For all of those who want to know when we're live tomorrow, we are live at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. 11 a.m. tomorrow, there's day baseball, so we're on earlier than we normally are. 11 a.m. is our show tomorrow, so make sure you're following us on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, and on YouTube. That way you know every time we're live, you never miss a chance to engage with us, get information, and of course, rant about the world of sports. Again, we are live tomorrow at 11 a.m. We will do another 2-hour show. Alexander, for those who are wondering, Alexander's going over 203, plus 16.5. He's getting those in really smart places. He likes the teaser. Alexander, I couldn't agree with you more. If any of you guys are curious what a teaser is where you can take a bet that adds points to what the spread would be. Even though the odds aren't as favorable for you, it is trying to get you, encourage you to bet. But there are smart teaser bets that are out there. So just like Alexander, if you're smart and you like some of our bets, like if you like the over at 211, you'll love the over at 203 like Alexander just did. So a lot of teasers are out there. Again, you've got to kind of play the odds a little bit. But Pirates game is 8-0 now. Jorge, you're letting us know that our first bet of the day is going down the drain. But that's okay. That's how betting goes sometimes. So we swing and then we miss. We get back up to the plate. You take an 0-1 average, you get a hit, you're at 50% now. So we're hoping to climb out of the basement a little bit. We know the Pirates and Tigers the under, so we're already at a push. So we can't cash on that. Maybe we'll be okay if we miss on it, but Spencer Torkelson hits a home run. Anyways, We have gone 2 hours today. It's unbelievable how fast this show goes every day. A big shout out to the man behind the scenes, Blease, who helps us out putting this all together. And of course, to our audience, the loyal viewers that we have, Jorge, Alexander, IP Shade 45, Steven, Jeff, Jared. Big shout out to all of you. Cody, big shout out to you. Swamp Dog, thank you for the support. Vin Kane, Chris Elder Jones, LRK 425, Jorge, you know you've been such a great supporter. One Big Deal 22. Just an unbelievable community that we have here at Butt Fumble Sports. Big shout out to all of those who are also watching on Instagram Live, YouTube. To those who watch on YouTube, Top Dog, Caesar. I'd love to know more about the guys who watch on YouTube, but those who do, so appreciate the support you guys show us. Make sure you're with us tomorrow. We are live at 11 a.m. Again, we are live 11 a.m. tomorrow, so make sure you're with us 11 a.m. tomorrow as we are live to do this all over again, talk a lot of betting, NBA, NHL, and everything else. Alexander, thank you so much for your support. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and until then, good luck with your bets. Hope you have a really entertaining and a safe night. We'll see you guys again 11